Okay, good morning children. Let's continue the chapter. Okay, so in the last video you have seen that behind the Dutch, Britishers or the British traders also arrived in India. Now, during the reign of the Queen Elizabeth of England in the year 1600, the British established the East India Company. जब ब्रिटेन में क्वीन एलिजाबेथ का राज था in England, when Queen Elizabeth was in the England ruling the England at that time, they established a company and its name is the East India Company. Okay, now you have to remember the name of this company because the whole ahead in the history of this year you will learn about this company only. Okay, so in 1600 in England there was a Queen Elizabeth, and at that time only they established a company. Its name is an East India Company, and actually this company only came to India for the trading. This is the company which came to India for the trading. The first British ship arrived in India at the port of Surat, that is in Gujarat, in 1608. Captain W. Hawkins, the captain of the ship, was the first British to set foot in India. So in 1608, actually first time the British came to India. He met the Jahangir but did not get his permission to trade. उसने ट्रेडिंग के लिए जहांगीर से परमिशन मांगी बट उसको परमिशन मिला नहीं. There after the son Thomas Roy arrived in India, who acquired the permission to establish a trading center in Surat. And after the W. Hawkins, who came? Sir Thomas Roy, and he asked for the permission for a trading center in Surat, and this time permission was granted to Thomas Roy. Later Delhi went into the hand of the Shahjahan, और जहांगीर के बाद दिल्ली किसके पास चला गया? शाहजहां के पास. And then he granted permission to the British to carry out the trade in Bengal. And then actually Shahjahan granted permission to the British East India Company to do the trade in Bengal, and that is considered to be the horrible decision in the history. From here only the British East India Company started their trading full-fledged, and they also slowly and gradually started expanding their foot in Indian politics and economy, both. The French established the French East India Company in the year 1664. और जैसे ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी इंग्लैंड का था वैसे ही फ्रेंच की कंपनी थी जिसका नाम था द फ्रेंच ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी, एंड दैट वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन 1664. They established the factories in the Surat, Machilipatnam and the Puducherry, and today it is called as Pondicherry. Okay, that was actual name is, or earlier it was known as a Puducherry. So the French East India Company, which came to India, first they have established their factory at these three places. The head of the French company was the Joseph Francois de Blax. So he was the head of the French company. Okay, thus the French and the British stood in the competition against each other to become the strongest European company. Now India was a market also for their product, and it also provided the raw material for their factories. So the British and the French both stood in a competition against each other to establish their trade in India. Okay, so they both has a strong competition among themselves, that who can establish more powerfully over here. There were the innumerable disputes and the battle, and finally the British emerged as the winner. French East India Company and the British East India Company has a lot of disputes and the battles among themselves, and out of that British emerged as a winner. British trade in the Bengal. They started trade on the bank of the river Hooghly and established the fort in 1651. The fort were garrisoned, means a protection for the group for their protection of the factory, and got the permission from the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to trade without paying taxes. Now they've started their trading on the bank of the river Hooghly, and their fort was also protected by a group whose name was a garrison, and they used to provide a protection to their factory. And the mistake which was made by the Aurangzeb was that they granted permission to the British East India Company to trade without paying tax. This was the biggest mistake done by the Mughal emperors. Okay, औरंगजेब ने अगर कोई सबसे बड़ी मिस्टेक की थी तो यही की थी. They have granted permission for trading, that is without paying taxes, and see what are its outcome. Now you can see that from 1797 to the 1857, in these three different maps, you can see how the British East India Company has slowly expanded in almost all the important regions of the India. See, first starting they were having their trading center in all these places. This blue mark is about the expansion of the British, and this yellow mark is the expansion of, was the color for the local ruler. Okay, it represents the local ruler. See, in 1840 it has expanded how much area? See, from the Mumbai, Goa. Okay, in up to 1857 you can see that there were very less local rulers ruling on the different part of the India, and the most of the region was governed by the British East India Company. So you can see that actually within the 100 years they were governing or ruling mostly the important regions of the India, and in such a less time they have overruled the local rulers as they were not united, and they have a good hold on the political system of India. The expansion of the British rule between 1757 and 1857. तो 1757 से लेके 1857 तक, this was a very important time span during which the Britishers has very fastly expanded their rules, policy, economy and trade in the India, and we will see how this happens. Okay, by this time, means by 1757, the East India Company was in race to earn more and more money. As it is a trading company, so its the only objective is to earn more and more money, means more and more profit. Okay, as we know, Britishers were not paying the tax to the Nawab of Bengal, that is Murshid Quli Khan, but with that the other private traders also did not pay the tax. अब औरंगजेब ने क्या किया था कि ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी को वेस्ट बंगाल में विदाउट टैक्सेस पे किए बिना ट्रेडिंग अलाउ किया, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस द नवाब ऑफ बंगाल इज नॉट गेटिंग द टैक्स फ्रॉम द ब्रिटिशर्स, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस जो दूसरे प्राइवेट ट्रेडर्स थे, दे हैव आल्सो स्टार्टेड अबॉलिशिंग द टैक्स. उन लोगों ने भी टैक्स पे करना बंद कर दिया. इफ नोबडी पेज द टैक्स, देन हाउ एनी रूलर विल टेक आउट इट्स एक्सपेंडिचर. तो एक्सपेंडिचर या कहीं पे भी रूल करना, इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. एज अ रिजल्ट द इनकम जनरेटेड फ्रॉम द टैक्स कलेक्शन इन द बंगाल रिड्यूस्ड. इस वजह से क्या हुआ कि बंगाल में जो इनकम जनरेट होता था टू एडमिनिस्टर टू डू द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन was reduced. इस कारण से बंगाल में जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के लिए जो पैसे आते थे वो कम हो गए. This dispute kept on recurring even during the time of Ali Vardi Khan. और उसके बाद जो अली वर्दी खान था, जिसने मुर्शिद कली खान के बाद ही बिकम्स द नवाब ऑफ द बंगाल, तो उसको भी ये प्रॉब्लम बहुत फेस करना पड़ा. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस देयर वर ऑलवेज अ डिस्प्यूट बिटवीन द ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी एंड द रूलर ऑफ द बंगाल. आफ्टर अली वर्दी खान, his son Siraj-Ud-Daulah took the charge. उसके बाद किसने, कौन बना नवाब ऑफ बंगाल? It was Siraj-Ud-Daulah. Okay, so Siraj-Ud-Daulah took the charge of the Bengal. He got involved into a major battle with the British. और Siraj-Ud-Daulah ने भी ब्रिटिशर्स को ये जो एडवांटेज फेवर मिला था उसके खिलाफ, so he started he was actually against this favor that British East India Company actually got, and because of this there was a many battle between the Siraj-Ud-Daulah and the British East India Company. And the major battle which was fought between the Siraj-Ud-Daulah and the British East India Company, and the name of the battle is the Battle of Plassey. Siraj-Ud-Daulah became the Nawab of Bengal in year 1756. There were a frequent conflict between the British merchant regarding the payment of the taxes. और Siraj-Ud-Daulah और British merchant के बीच में frequently periodically there was a conflict regarding the payment of the taxes. So he ordered the British should not fortify the factory, pay the taxes as per the rules and trade as per the terms and the conditions. So Siraj-Ud-Daulah ordered the British that if you want to trade with us, then you have to pay the taxes as per the rules, and you also have to trade as per the terms and conditions, which was equally liable for them also. Okay, Siraj opted, and because of this Siraj had to opt for the war. Okay, क्योंकि सिराज-उद-दौला ने ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी को बोला कि ये नहीं चलेगा that you don't pay the taxes, you have to pay the taxes and do the trading as per the terms and conditions which other local trader or the private traders are doing. And because of this British East India Company challenged the Siraj-Ud-Daulah, and Siraj-Ud-Daulah has no choice other than to opt for the war, and he succeeded in expelling the British from the Calcutta. But yeah, and what is the outcome of this war? Siraj-Ud-Daulah won, and the Britishers has to expel, or they have to move out of the Calcutta. Okay, but see later what happens. Yeah, the British counter-attacked under the leadership of the Robert Clive. As the British was defeated, but they again do the counter-attack on the Siraj-Ud-Daulah, and this time under the leadership of the Robert Clive. Clive bribed the Mir Jafar. Now, British East India Company knew that if they directly fight with the Siraj-Ud-Daulah, then again they are going to defeat. So what they did? They bribed the Mir Jafar, who was the commander-in-chief of the Siraj-Ud-Daulah, means सेनापति था सिराज-उद-दौला का. उसको रॉबर्ट क्लाइव ने क्या किया? ब्राइब कर लिया, लालच दे दिया. Okay, they tempted the Mir Jafar with a promise. And what was their temptation? British East India Company का temptation क्या था मीर जाफर को? They promised them that they will pass the throne of Bengal to him. वो सिराज-उद-दौला जैसे ही हार जाएगा, then they used to make Mir Jafar as the Nawab of Bengal and convinced him to join their side. और इस तरह से उन्होंने कमांडर इन चीफ ऑफ सिराज-उद-दौला जो मीर जाफर था उसको अपने साइड में कर लिया. With this help, Robert Clive defeated and murdered Siraj-Ud-Daulah. और इस कारण से ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी ने जब दोबारा सिराज-उद-दौला पे अटैक किया, then Siraj-Ud-Daulah was defeated and murdered in the Battle of Plassey 1757. This was the first war fought by the company in India. So this was the first war fought by the British East India Company in India, and this was marked as the beginning of the British rule in India. Thus, this war is considered to be the turning point in the history of India. And this was the main turning point in the history of India from where actually the British expansion policy started. Okay? वो लोग जो अपना पॉलिटिकल पकड़ बनाना चाहते थे, पॉलिटिकल होल्ड बनाना चाहते थे इंडियन रीजन्स पे, दिस एक्चुअली स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम दिस बैटल. नेक्स्ट इज द बैटल ऑफ बक्सर. ओके, एज पर द प्रॉमिस द ईस्ट इंडिया, सो ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी ने मीर जाफर को जो प्रॉमिस किया था उस हिसाब से आफ्टर दे डिफीटेड एंड मर्डर्ड Siraj-Ud-Daulah, they made Mir Jafar as a Nawab of Bengal. After a few years, Mir Jafar unfriendly towards the British. थोड़े सालों के बाद क्या होता है, मीर जाफर का भी ब्रिटिश के साथ जो बिहेवियर होता है वो अनफ्रेंडली हो जाता है. सो द कंपनी, सो अगेन क्योंकि अनफ्रेंडली बिहेवियर हो जाता है, सो company, British East India Company decided to replace him with his son-in-law, Mir Qasim. Yes, same bribe. जो bribe रॉबर्ट क्लाइव ने मीर जाफर को दिया होता है, वो सेम ब्राइब ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी वापस यूज करती है टू रिप्लेस द मीर जाफर. एंड दिस टाइम दे हैव टेम्प्टेड son-in-law of the Mir Jafar, who was Mir Qasim. Son-in-law means दामाद. Mir Qasim was an efficient, disciplined and clever ruler. लेकिन मीर कासिम भी बहुत ही clever ruler था. The problem arose between the Nawab and the company on account of the non-payment of the taxes. मीर कासिम पहले तो नवाब ऑफ बंगाल बन जाता है cleverly. ओके, वो ब्रिटिश को बोलता है ओके, रिप्लेस मीर जाफर एंड make in place of that I will become the Nawab of the Bengal and I will help you. लेकिन मीर कासिम ऐसा करता नहीं है. And then there was a problem again between the Nawab of Bengal and the company on account of, again this issue remains same, that British don't want to pay the taxes for the trading they are doing here, which, and again because of this there was an ultimate option of the war from both the faces. Okay, so as there was again a dispute between the Nawab of Bengal, that is the Mir Qasim, and the British, because of the same issue they again opted for the war. And the next battle was the Battle of Buxar. In 1763 Mir Qasim was defeated by the company, but he was successful escape. Okay, Mir Qasim को कंपनी हरा तो देती है लेकिन वो वहां से भागने में सक्सेसफुल हो जाता है. मीर कासिम reorganized his army along with the forces of the Nawab of Oudh, that is Shuja-ud-Daulah, and the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. मीर कासिम क्योंकि बच जाता है, वो वहां से स्केप हो जाता है, वहां से भाग जाता है. सो ही अगेन रीऑर्गेनाइज द आर्मी, वो अपना आर्मी वापस बनाता है. किसके हेल्प से? नवाब ऑफ अवध, दैट इज टुडेज लखनऊ, that was ruled by the Shuja-ud-Daulah, and the Shah Alam II, who was at the throne of Delhi at that time, Mughal Emperor. The British East India Company, they reorganized, they combined the forces and met the company forces at the Buxar in 1764. और वापस से अपनी आर्मी को रीऑर्गेनाइज करते हुए इन दोनों के साथ they again go for the battle in 1764 at Buxar, but the British East India Company won the war. लेकिन ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी इस वॉर में जीत जाती है ऑल ऑफ सडन. और क्योंकि वो जीत जाते हैं तो उसके पास बंगाल तो होता ही है, उसके साथ साथ क्या आ जाता है? बंगाल, अवध, and even the Delhi, because Shah Alam II was also defeated. And these three reasons, main reasons, get in the control of the British East India Company. Sorry. Robert Clive was sent to India to take the control of the situation, and the Robert Clive was again sent to India to take the control over the situation, as now the region has expanded more. That's how the East India Company, a trading company, emerged as a political power in the subcontinent of India. And this is how the British East India Company has overtook the political power in this region.